Hello everyone. So this will be a pretty serious video to go over a situation with someone we used to associate with named Jenju. He also goes by Duckisayhello, WTNDOG, and 7UC4K, which is his main name Jenju. There are possibly more alternative accounts, but these three seem to be the main ones he uses to interact with individuals. Other than that, let's get straight into the video. So before we start, you need to understand the context and how this all started and why we even took the time to look into Jenju. So, believe it or not, this all started in the Hollow Discord server. While we were all playing Hollowed, we were ganking players and we gripped this one individual out of the many others we gripped called Unspoken Dreamers. Now, just like any really annoyed or pissed off person that just lost a lot of stuff from getting gripped, they were pretty heated. They pinged one of my good friends in the Hollow chat some small insult. It wasn't anything too major, and when Jenju found out that they were insulting one of us, he provided us a screenshot of the Unspoken Dreamers individual being extremely racist in their DMs. And Jenju, to our assumption, or someone in the house decided to send that screenshot outside, in which a whole random that we did not know at all or associate with sent in general immediately, pinged the Unspoken Dreamers guy, and basically called them a racist and everything, which they are. They're saying the hard R. But after Unspoken Dreamers caught wind of this, in retaliation, they began to call Jenju a predator, started sending various screenshots, and don't get me wrong, a lot of these screenshots look really bad, but we couldn't just immediately start kicking him out. We needed to actually look into it. But this is basically what sparked all of this whole thing, is because there was definitely some evidence here worth looking into. So now that you got a quick understanding of everything so far, we need to go into the Jack case. Remember the Unspoken Dreamers guy that was giving my friends an insult, got called out for racism, and dropped the allegations on Jenju? Well, on Discord he goes by as Jack the Cat Boy, but for keeping his name short and not saying the full thing every time I need to refer to them, we'll just call him Jack. So, for those unaware, Jack here is the person that is 16, and after speaking with them for a little, they told me some more information on Jenju and how they met. So, you guys remember those messages where they said along the lines of, "Did your friend tell you how we met?" So, I asked them about it, and they revealed how they met Jenju on a Roblox Condo game. And after questioning Jenju on this, they confirmed that they did meet in a Roblox Condo game, and that he only joined those types of games in order to troll people and to fight pedophiles. Look, just take a look at this. Ethan, the fact of the matter is they're stating that it's weird enough that he was already there trying to get in someone's DMs that they met on a condo game, is what they're trying to say.
Okay, so listen. So the man of this shit is I was trolling. So you know who people trolling in the Condo games? We try to fight pedophiles. Like we try to fight them, not fucking
You try to
grooming
fight
people and shit.
pedophiles.
Hey, Jenju, I'm going to stop you right there. That is not going to help your case of what you're
That is
saying at all.
not
Like,
helping
scratch that from what you're
yours.
Yeah.
saying.
Okay. I don't care. But that's what I did.
So I just wanted to start pointing out some lies he made since we're about to show some evidence. When we asked him if he had any inappropriate talks with the Jack individual, he went ahead and lied and told us no, straight to our face in the voice chat. We have a quick audio recording to show of him being asked. Now, you
Yeah.
stated of you had no sort of inappropriate conversations, correct?
Yeah.
So the first thing we need to debunk is him stating that he had no inappropriate talks with this individual. Now, Jack told us that this man Jenju deleted a lot of DMs with them, and they were happy to provide evidence that a lot of DMs were indeed deleted. However, some new messages that Jenju left behind and some leftover responses from Jack say a lot as well that definitely show they had some sort of talks. So let's begin by looking over some conversations from the recent times. So Jenju found out that Jack is playing Hollowed, which is where they reconnected, and this most likely occurred since Jack is a pretty active individual in the Hollowed Discord server. Now everything starts off normal. Jenju asks them if they are down to duo progress in Hollowed, and everything seems normal, right? This is unfortunately where things start getting weird. As they're casually having a talk about the game, Genji begins to hint at some weird stuff to Jack, which will be shown on screen and highlighted. This is done various times as if he's insisting on it. So things continue on as normal. After Jack ignored it the first time, Genji begins to ask again, Now, this is where Jack denies him outright and states how they have a boyfriend now. Now, if you thought this was Jenju's last time asking, no, you were 100% wrong. So Jenju goes on ahead once again, asking for this 16-year-old to ride his dick, in which they once again deny. And obviously, here we could see that some stuff was deleted with the way how Jack is talking, and even made a weird comment at the bottom saying how they used to be a dick slayer. What the actual fuck, man? So, to clarify something, you can see in the screenshot that Jack agreed with Genji's weird comment. Now, I want to provide some insight because the Jack person told me later that they willingly went to the relationship. This wasn't like Genju forcing their hand or something. Now, does that make it okay? No. But I've definitely spoken to the Jack person, told them how that shit is definitely not acceptable to do, and they should probably like not even be trying to get in relationships with older men like that. But they've assured me that they aren't into condos anymore, any of that sort. And so far, from what I've seen from the messages, it seems like they definitely hopped off of it. But again, this doesn't make it right at all. So in the next clip, we try to help him understand how bad what he did on those condo games and what he did in DMs was. And he seems to understand that in the clip we're about to play. But at this point in time, he starts trying to grab at straws and trying to basically say or prove a point that Jack added him. Like that's really much going to change anything about what they did in DMs. But other than that, here's the clip. You said ride my dick again. So I'm just saying it looks like y'all were up to some shit in the past. So look, here's what's wrong, right, Jenju? You went to a condo game. You found someone. You never asked for their age, and you had inappropriate talks with them. You see how that's really bad?
Mhm.
That is like extremely bad. You should and you've known this person for a long time, yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, Joe. So was this like a 1, 2 to 3 month thing or
Was this like a fling or like
yeah?
what was going on?
What's going on? Like
No, like I just he tell me the DMs and we just talked and boom.
so we come to the next point where the Jack case is coming to a close, and we have to go on to the next case. Now, while Genju has lied on various things, such as when we asked if he had any appropriate talks or what he was actually doing in the condo games, which he kept dodging, and using the excuse of, oh, I'm there to troll and fight pedophiles, I'll let my friend Doug end off this part so we can move on to the next person.
And you met up with a 16-year-old
Who apparently
started
Hold on.
your
said,
Yeah,
being
no,
in
they
your
were 16.
DMs.
Hold on. He did not know they were 16.
hold on.
Regardless,
Yo.
it's
I'm
not
gonna
a
mute.
good look when you go into a condo game,
Yeah, I
meet
know
up
it's
with
not a good
someone,
look.
start DMing them, and then proceed to consistently ask them to
Okay, you
quote unquote ride your dick.
so
See,
you
now that's the behavior which to me, at a glance, and when I really think about it, seems like you're grooming.
Hold
yeah,
on.
you can think that, but
Yo, if you'll get your point to argue, let Morvid finish his stuff.
I just personally don't believe you were there just to troll.
So, with the first person out of the way, we get onto our second person, who's known as Faze. This person is another person in our guild Discord who was reapproached by Genju after a long time without contacting each other because Genju noticed they were playing Hollowed Abyss. Now, Genju had some weird things to remind them of, for example, how he was into them a year ago, and in which Faze responds by telling them and reminding them how they were a minor who was 15 at the time and how he was 18. Jeju goes on to agree and say how he's dumb and stupid in the past, and then goes on to disagree about being 18. Now, we'll get into why he disagrees about it in a second. So, just so you're all aware, at the start of this video, I showed various accounts which he owned in the past, and Genju was known for having various alts which he said were for rogue lineage and ban evading. So, we were able to confirm that the Lance account was owned by Genju, and even Genju backed it up by stating that he owned it, and it was a pretty big no-brainer considering that it was connected to Duckisayhello. Now, this will be important for Faze's case because most of the DMs occurred on the Lance account. Now, before we begin, it's important to get Genju's age. Now, we were able to confirm that his birthday was on November 10th, 2005, and the messages that are going to be shown occurred on November 1st, 2023, 9 days before his 18th birthday. Now, that fact will be important for later, so remember that. So, Faze, who was 15 at the time, played a closed community game also known as Birdcage that Jenju was also involved in and where most of these messages occurred. Now, the messages that were sent were pretty long, so I'm going to provide a long version and then go down with the messages one by one in small segments. So, as we all know Jenju by now, he starts the conversation very normal. It stays on topic to the game. And as you already guessed, this guy starts getting a little weird and starts saying things like, yeah, why I kind of like you right now, and then begins to say some things like, I will not go further. So, Faze, out of curiosity, obviously asked for him to elaborate, in which he's kind of already confessing and saying he's trying to cut out that feeling because he thinks that some guy named Hiroto is dating Faze, which obviously, as you can see at the bottom, Faze corrects it and says how they're not dating. And basically, with the highlighted part where he says he tries to cut that feeling, you need to remember that for later because he says it various times and there's a reason he is saying that. So after Faze informs him that they're not dating whoever Lance thought they were dating, he begins to talk about the humanity mindset. And basically, after Faze obviously is not interested in this person, Lance drops a question if they could love them one-sided, in which Faze just brushes it off and says, if you want to, go ahead. And that's basically where it ends off. So your next question would probably be, why didn't Faze just report him in 2023 when it was very obvious what they were doing? Now, Faze didn't really get any bad vibes or bad intentions back then until they started hearing about the Jack case. Now, after they heard about the Jack case, they basically informed us that Jenju was trying to bag them when they were 15 and Jenju was basically an 18-year-old. Now, the reason I say basically is about to be explained in a second. So, as I've already explained already, Jenju's age and date of birth was confirmed to be November 10th, 2005. Now, these messages, as you could see when they took place, this would mean Jenju was 17 at the time of sending these messages, and basically 9 days away from his birthday is exactly when these messages were sent. Now, at first, we thought about letting him go for this one until someone talked me out of it and basically stated how, hey, he basically was 18 trying to hit on a 15-year-old. Now, if this relationship went through and he was persistent and Faze gave in and started the relationship, or Jenju started it, this still would have been a bad case nonetheless. Now, everyone's entitled to their own opinions and everything about this Faze case because in the reality, some people will be like, oh, it was 17. Yeah, a couple days off of 18. It's not illegal or anything. Again, everyone's allowed to have their own opinions, but it's time we get into what Jenju basically had to say about the Faze person, in which he kind of told us how he only found out about their age after he left the game and everything like that, and that's why he DM'd them saying he was dumb and stupid. So the reason why most people don't believe that this was his intentions were because not only did Jenju know he was about to hit 18, he didn't even bother to ask for the age, which Faze later told us that they would have happily provided if all he did was ask. Now, it looks like Jenju has a consistent pattern of just never asking for people's age, especially when he's 18 and when he's about to hit 18. So as we get to the end of the video, understand that you could form whatever opinion you want on this person, but one thing that needs to get set straight, actually not one thing, various things that need to get set straight, is the fact that this guy literally went to a Condo game with a 16-year-old and had ERP, which he confirmed was like full ERP. There was no trolling, no fighting pedophiles like he said he was. Most of those were lies or trying to dodge responsibility for what type of weird stuff he was doing in there. Now, you could make assumptions on whatever the hell else he was doing in the Condo games, because if you remember from the Jack person's DMs, he stated something about Condo alts, which kind of explains why this guy has so many alts where one of them he's pretending to be a girl. Who the hell knows what else he's using them for? Maybe those are his accounts where he's in the Condo discords. I don't know. But with everything piling up against him deleting DMs, lying, dodging questions, and everything like that, a very fair assumption could be made on it. So there's a reason this video is being made, and again, we were just going to leave it as a Google Doc for people to review, and that's pretty much it. Now, I want you guys to take a guess on what Jenju decided to do after being exposed by us and basically by him being like kicked out of all these discords and being cut off by everyone. Did he A, take the time off and just think about what he did and not return to the internet? Did he B, try to just reform his defense to make more sense, where there's less lies involved, and him proving his actual point that he probably may not be a predator and this is all false or something? Or did he pick C, where he joins a new house, cuts off everyone who might know about the document, and pretend like nothing ever happened, and hopefully it gets swept under the rug and he could play as normal? I'll let you guys take a guess. So, if you picked option C, you were 100% correct. This guy went to a new guild and everything, tried to gank us and all of that, obviously failing and getting gripped himself various times by us. And yeah, that basically sums up the whole video. If there's any updates, I'll obviously try to put them either in the description or in the comments. If you want to share your opinions, the comment section is always open for everyone to provide their insight into it, or their thoughts, or anything that might contribute to this. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.